Sean, you look like you're in a car.
I am, but I'm not moving. My car is at brakes plus. I thought my front driver wheel was going to fall off this morning. They think it's the bearings. So I'm on Federal at brakes plus.
Oh, it's always fun for a Friday morning.
Yeah.
Or any morning.
And they probably will come and get the car at some point, so I'll may go on voice only.
Sounds good. Okay, so I guess I run this thing, right?
Yeah, I can take roll call real quick.
That would be great.
Okay. Peter Van Rye.
Here.
Sean Lewis.
Here.
Tim Dodd.
Here.
Brad Power.
Here.
Jackie Lowe.
Present.
Okay, I think that's everybody on our board. Well, I guess I'll call the board to the meeting of the EMERF board of directors on Friday, October 28th, 9 a.m. We just did roll. Everybody's here. So first order of business is approval of the minutes from our February 15th meeting from 2022. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
I will.
Go ahead.
Well, I will move approval of the February 15th, 2022 meeting minutes of the EMERF Foundation Board.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. So moving on to recognition of public comments. Brenda, do we have anybody for public comments?
We do not.
Okay, we will then get into new business, which is we have a couple renewals that we need to get completed. And the first renewal is for legal professional services with Spencer Fane. And so this is Spencer Fane does our legal consulting, outside legal. We've been actually working with them quite a bit this year as we've been negotiating a lease with a new tenant at one of the properties down on the EMERF site. We're almost through the lease development process on that one. So Mike Miller has been very helpful and instrumental in helping us get through that. And so this is for renewal for that continued support. Any
Peter,
questions?
are there other inquiries either have been made or that we think may be made, or are we going to contemplate relisting the property at some point, or where do things stand overall?
So overall, we have one site that's almost complete with a lease. They're interested in leasing an additional site that's across the street from them. Which is one that has had interest in it in the past, but they're actually, I think they're actually interested, and we're looking to expand their total lease amount to, what's the total acreage on that? About 9? Is that when they're done?
Yeah, it'd be actually 10.
So they go from 6 acres to 10 acres. And then that leaves essentially the area at the southwest quadrant where the road was put in. That there's been some interest. We've had a couple entities show some interest, but they haven't gone beyond the interest point.
Okay, thanks, appreciate that.
Yep. Jackie.
Do you know how much we have paid Mike Miller, his firm, year to date?
I don't know. Sarah, do we have that handy?
I don't know. Brenda?
Yeah, I can look it up real quick.
We'll get that for you before the end of the meeting.
Right.
I thought last year was around $8,300. I thought that's what I recalled in the memo that was in the
Yeah,
meeting.
it'll be a lot more this year because we have been engaging him quite a bit.
Okay.
Through the completion of the LOI, and then Well, so we initiated conversations with them, I think last December. Was that right? And so
That's correct.
essentially all the way through June was the development of the LOI, and from June to now has been development of the actual lease. And they're looking to, we're in negotiating terms on the lease in year 70 of the lease. So that's the last pieces that we're looking at. So they're interested in being on this property for quite a long time.
Peter, it's, we're at 22,000 right now.
So 22,000, I would anticipate there'll probably be another, I don't know, 5,000 or 8,000 by the end of the year. And then, well, if we expand the lease to include that additional property, then I think we'll just keep working with them.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So, renewal of Spencer Fane, any other questions on that? If not, can I get a motion to renew the contract for 2023?
I move that we renew the contract with Spencer Fane for 2023.
All right, motion, can I get a second?
I'll second.
I will second.
Okay. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Our second item is renewal of our annual insurance coverage. And so this is just an annual set of insurance that we carry for the property as well as the board of directors. It's basically our insurance. So the terms of the insurance stayed the same, and the price is at $82.23. So it's a pretty standard renewal. Any questions on this one?
Peter, is this comparable to the Eve coverages? Do we know? Does anybody know?
Yes, very comparable. I think that for each board member, it's 5 million, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's correct.
Yeah, Peter. Am I correct, Tim?
That's correct. Yep.
That is correct, Jackie. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. I appreciate that. So any further questions on this one? Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the renewal for the insurance?
I move we renew the insurance as presented.
Can I get a second?
I'll second that one.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. So that was the business that we had to complete. Are there any further discussions, questions, any other updates that anybody would like as it relates to what we're doing with eMRF these days? Sarah and I are pretty actively engaged on, like I said, the current lease negotiation, and then the couple other ones. But yeah, Sean, I see your hands up.
Yeah, I was wondering if we could maybe contract with a sign company to put a sign on the property.
I feel like someone has suggested that to me before. I can't quite remember where that came from.
Maybe not officially as a board member.
Yeah, actually, so Sarah and I have talked about that, and I know it's on our list to check in with Douglas County to make sure that we meet whatever code requirements they have for putting a sign up out on our property for leasing. But it is on our list of things to do, and something we'll get bumped up on the priority list. Sarah, any other update on that, you think?
There isn't, although I do know that there is a number at least listed on a couple of the vacant lots down there. So I've asked June, actually Jose rode her bike down there and saw it. So it does have a number that's listed. So I'm going to find out what those numbers are and things, and we'll get that all updated.
We get a random inquiry, I would say about every 2 or 3 months on him. Okay,
Peter,
yep.
yeah, would it be helpful for the board member to learn about the current lease negotiation? Just give us an update, how many and the status, or is it too early to share?
No, I think we can talk about it. So we're working with right now we're working with McDonald Automotive, who has completed an LOI, and we are at the last 1 or 2 items in the lease terms for their leasing of the property that's immediately adjacent to if you think about the intersection of Lucent and C470, it's immediately adjacent to the intersection in the northeast quadrant. So we have a map. So 1A. So we're working through that right now. We're almost complete with that lease. They're interested in 3. And so we're actually, Sarah just talked to them yesterday about 3. We're working through some of the questions that they have on that. That generally leaves the largest of the remaining parcels to be 3 and 4 to the south. I think that's the area where we can do some more work, like Sean said, in terms of getting better signage out there and getting better promotion of those 2 properties. And then ultimately, we have 1 up to the far northwest that I don't know if we've had any interest in that one or not. Sarah, do you know?
So that one, there's been maybe some interest in, not developing it necessarily, but maybe parking cars up there. So I haven't heard from that particular individual in a couple months, but that one is probably the least desirable for development that we've got interest in so far. So.
Yeah, I think 1A and 3, if we can get them leased out combined to this one lessee, they're interested in a long-term presence on this property. You can just tell by the way they're negotiating the lease. We think we've gotten better, more market favorable terms put into these leases so that we ensure that we're not falling behind as it relates to market rate versus our normal annual increase rate. We've increased the frequency by which we will go back and look at it to market correct it. So all that has been factored in an effort to ensure that we don't get too far away from market for too long. Either way, either too high or too low. So that's essentially where we're at.
Look forward to seeing it.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other items or topics or discussion items that anybody would like to talk about? Okay, hearing none. This might be one of the fastest board meetings I've ever been a part of. So it's 9:15, and I will close the eMERF board meeting, and thank you everybody for attending, and we'll have another meeting probably sometime. I anticipate our next board meeting will be in conjunction with when we actually finalize the lease terms and need to push that through to council. So
Okay.
ideally in the next few months.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good day.
Thank you for the
Enjoy
good
your
work.
Friday.
Bye.
See y'all.
Bye.